Mac Lang did a super chat saying, can you update the Patreon goal? No. I've already explained many times and I'll explain it again. I have a Patreon. Patreon. I guess they actually pronounce it Patreon, even though it makes no sense because Patreon is supposed to be a take on patron of the arts. So to pronounce it Patreon literally undermines the point, but the owners say you pronounce it Patreon. Fuck if I understand what they're going for. Anyway, so I have a Patreon. It's at patreon.com/darksidephil. Okay? Now, at one point, before I became a full-time streamer, Patreon was a major focus of mine because it was a way to get supplemental income for special projects and events. That has long passed. My Patreon is essentially a legacy. Okay? What you can do if you'd like to contribute to support my streams, to support my on-demand content on YouTube, but you don't want to do something that's like a live stream interaction. You don't care about getting a pop-up on stream. You don't care about getting a shout-out. You don't even want to be visible. All right? Patreon is a great way to do that then, because this is an ongoing pledge you can do on a monthly basis that helps me, but it has nothing to do with the streams whatsoever. Okay? Patreon.com/darksidephil. Are there perks? Yes. Are they pertinent? Not really. Like, there's two good perks on there, in my opinion. One is you absolutely get your question answered on Ask the King. If you've got a burning question you've always wanted to answer and you want to answer it in detail, rather than me just doing a quick answer on a stream like this, but getting an in-depth answer many minutes, that's a great way to do that. Or get a private Q&A video made. A lot of people have said over the years, excuse me, what about all those people, those celebrities and people who make those videos online? They take payment and then they make a video and they say something or they answer questions or whatever. Would you ever do that? And I forget what it's called. There's a website where you can do it, and I've completely forgotten what it even is. Okay? And I was like, no, actually, I hate to tell you this, I've done that before them. I used to do this. I'd still do it on my Patreon. Basically, if you do a $50 pledge to my Patreon, I'll make you a private video. You send me the questions. I will sit here for a good 20 plus minutes just talking directly to you and answering your questions. And people really have liked that over the years, and now people haven't done it in a long time. Why? Because essentially it's fallen out of prominence. People like the fact that I'm an interactive streamer now. They don't really care about that kind of stuff that much anymore. Every once in a while, it's very rare, someone will actually drop $50 on my Patreon and be like, hey, can I get a private video? Maybe a couple times a year. All right? It's that rare. So it's not a big deal. Okay? Now, people say, well, will you update your Patreon? Will you make it more pertinent? No, there's no point. My focus is these streams and the content on DSP Gaming. My focus is not Patreon, and it hasn't been in many years, and I've already explained that it never was going to be. There was one time when I thought maybe I was going to stay on Twitch, even though I wasn't in the partner program, and I said, well, maybe Patreon will become more important now. And that kind of just fell through, especially when I was, decided, fuck this, I'm just going to stream on YouTube now. And this is my focus now, all right? And Darziak even said, he says, dude, your Patreon's so outdated, it says you're still a streamer on Twitch. You're right. I don't update it. There's no point to me updating it. The people who go to my Patreon to support me there do so because they want to support. They know who I am. They know my content. They want to support that content. But they don't want to be involved with the streams. So let me be an ongoing supporter of Phil, but I don't want to have that notoriety or that shout out or that on stream. Let me just support him kind of behind the scenes, and that's exactly what it is.